Good evening. If you would like to listen to a 41-year-old grown adult drone on for around 10 minutes, I might go longer. I have a lot to say about this skate, but it's going to spark many other things. Drone on about a 30-year-old skate. I'm pretty sure this is 3 decades old, but just updated a little bit. You've come to the right place. And I'm also going to be giving away ideas for a really good skate, a good update of this. Roces won't do it. They don't really update stuff. How long has the M12 been the M12 and they haven't updated it? So, and people from the industry don't listen to this Patreon or take any of my advice, even though sometimes I might be correct or onto something. I just need to make we need to make our own skate eventually. But, so this is the Roces 1992. I wasn't intrigued by this skate when it first came out because the colors are really intense. I was intrigued that Roces was inspired by the Impala skate to make something like the Impala. And I was also intrigued that them skates made the them 80s also inspired by Impala. Because rollerblading can't do anything original very often unless another industry does it. You can count on the skateboard industry to even market rollerblading better than rollerblading can. So I wasn't fully intrigued by this skate until I saw this colorway. It was actually the hiking boot look that got me intrigued. And it was because I skated those old TRS Lightnings. Todd and I both skated them actually. Both enjoyed them a lot, way more than we would have expected. Now I understand why Dallas on some of our trips just skated the Lightning TRS the whole time. It was the Lightning TRS that inspired this, plus this colorway. I also knew that this size, so the size 10 M12 shell, was the exact same size as that Lightning shell that I tried, but a little bit stiffer plastic. So I knew the Intuition was going to work amazing. The Intuition Premium liner has not let me down at all in any skates for the most part. So that was going to be good. Other things, what if your Lightning TRS had a memory buckle or a low cut cuff? What if your skate had a riveted cuff that you didn't have to worry about? What if your skate wasn't UFS and had 4 rivets in the back, 6 rivets in the front on a sole frame? All of these things inspired me to try this skate. And you can go back and look at the Patreon video when I first skated this skate. I was able to do just all of my regular big wheel enjoyment stuff on this skate right away, even with the bad stock wheels. You can skate, I've skated 72s on this, rockered up, the 76 stock wheels, and they didn't put this in the description, but you can actually rocker the 76. These look like 72s now because they're so worn up, but I was able to rocker the 76s up with no problem. So this wheel, when it was rockered up, was right by the toe boot. Obviously, because it's a heel lift, that wheel's not going to be super close, but I didn't experiment with rockering like a slalom rocker, but you could go 76s down in the middle and up on the outside, or you could do, I don't know if you'd want to do different wheel sizes or anything. I did a Royale on a curb in 72mm flat in this skate. There's a lot to be said about not having a backslide plate on a skate, and it being here where when you do tricks in this skate or the Lightning TRS, everything is when tricks were invented was on this skate. You're feeling the closest version of a trick that you could. Like the closest version to the beginning of rollerblading, and when you watch the old videos, it was on this. Soles feel incredible on this and the Lightning TRS. You can even frontside in this frame. I did that a little bit. In 72s it was a little less dangerous than in 76s, but there is a tiny little bit of an H-block. That's just a bonus though that you can grind in this skate. The biggest thing about this skate is it's probably as minimal as you can get, as classic as you can get, and as responsive as you can get. Obviously, the wheels are a bit more modern, the liner's upgraded, the buckle is new, and the cuff is lower, but I highly recommend this skate. If you know that you fit into Roces, and if you have an Intuition liner, this is one of my favorite skates with a few problems. You can do a little bit of everything in this skate. It's cheap as hell. I don't know why just randomly there was a edit from Black Roces 1992, but I'm probably gonna buy the black version, and I recommend if you're intrigued about this skate, buy the black version. It's not even gonna be that much money. Like, it's probably for the price of 8 undercover wheels, you might be able to get a full 1992 setup. Skating and skate tech, it reinforces my disappointment about how you think we've come far, but we've actually just come far for like there's what Sebastian did with Seba and FR, and what Leon's done with Wizard. There's some other stuff obviously, but in terms of like pushing skating in a different direction, it's reinforced my disappointment about how lots of skates just got more plastic added to them and are designed for grinding, and that like this is the baseline design for a skate that you could do everything on. They probably sold really well back in the day. You could skate a path in these, you could do hockey with these. That, and like a lot of the legendary skating that happened, like even VG6 when I was watching it, it wasn't in this skate with this exact frame. Like they eventually made the Majestic 12 frame, but like in terms of this boot and the riveted frame, you feel it when you skate them. They're so fast and responsive, and you can crank this so tight, so supportive. I was able to do, I mean, you could see it in the edit, and we'll be releasing like all the raw footage. There was stuff that I wasn't able to put in, but I could easily get rid of a whole bunch of my skates and just skate these. And then I'll tell you all they need to do to update this. They really don't need to change a lot. They should give us a pro version of this skate where we just change a few things. So the number one thing, it's I said it in the original Patreon video where I was testing them out, is that the frame is too short. I didn't skate them rocket for that reason. I think it's probably 250, but I find the perfect frame length, and what would feel incredible was the same frame length that's on the Aeon 80s. It's, I think, the same as the Wizard 90s, so 273 or 270-ish, somewhere in that range. I would say you could still have the same wheel size. You could maybe, no, you wouldn't want to go 80s. So just a longer frame, a little bit of an H-block, not much, like very minimal and simple. So keep the wheel spacing quite similar, because you don't want this to get too wide. Thicken the frame up a little bit and protect the sole a little bit in the front, not a lot, like all the rivets would stay the same, and then just a heel plate on the back, and then just one Allen key system. Because yeah, if you start grinding these down, you're not going to be able to get them out. So it's really just, it's the frame length, one Allen key, and a little bit more grind focus, but not grind focus, just opening up grinding. And then the short frame is the biggest thing for me. You can see in the hosers edit, there's I do like a toe slide to a fakie carve to a drop in macchio, like near the start of the edit. And it's an aggressive skater thing, and it's a short frame thing that you have to keep your weight centered, and there's a really specific body position. You can get a little waiter army, or you can just tell that the skater has nothing to lean forward and back on. That's why like the Wizard, the PR frames, or the NR, people who've really mastered them, there's a style that comes through with a longer frame. And sometimes short frames can enhance the more awkward looking parts of skating. But it also shines like on the short frame in some cases. So you'll still have a good time if you skate with the short frame. I recommend this skate just to have your own personal baseline. To just start at the very beginning of skating. Not to fully grind with this skate, not to do wizardy stuff, just to skate around in this and see what happens for you. One minor complaint, these lace loops, the way they're riveted in, there was like the tiniest little pressure point, same as what I got on the blank skate, because I cranked these down as tight as possible. There was a little bit of a pressure point here, nothing huge. They were good in the heat, very supportive. I had to wax the cuff. This is just the M12 Roces thing. I had to like pull this cuff and wax the inside of it. This starts to rub and make noise. If you haven't experienced a sole grind on a classic TRS Lightning or a skate like this, it feels incredible. It feels way better than almost every aggressive skate, because it feels like an original sole grind. It's not the same as platform grinds that we perform today. This is wearing in, but feels so good. Yeah, somebody asked in the comments of the Hosers Edit if I would take this or the Aeon 80. I'm pretty sure I would take this. This is just my opinion though. I think the Aeon 80s are just really sloppy and flawed, and this is a tried, tested and true classic that would be amazing if it had the Aeon frame with like kind of the 50/50 or them hardware, or anything that you just use one Allen key on the side. It's really just, they just need to make a new sole frame for this, bolt on a heel plate, and boom, it's like it's the hybrid skate. That would be one of my favorites. This skate is so good. This skate is so good, it inspired me to buy a set of M12s. I'm very skeptical that the sole plate with just a few bolts, I always hated that it was 2 bolts in the back of M12s. I can't remember how many bolts in the front, but that the UFS bolts just go into the sole and not the boot. You can feel the rivets, you can feel the sole frame. It feels amazing. It feels way better than most aggressive skates. The way that this is mounted. I come from hockey though, I have weird preferences. What can you do? I had one more point, I can't remember it. But Roces, 1992. Get the black ones if they come out, definitely get the black ones. keep skating or something.